What do you think is the strangest, most shocking, most unbelievable verse in the Torah? I guess there are several candidates, but the one I have in mind is found in today's Torah portion. Today's Torah portion for this week is the Sedra of Korach. Korach, who led a rebellion with his followers against the leadership of Moshe. This was such a serious conflict that our tradition tells us there's never going to be a disagreement like this one again. So you have to ask yourself, why did people turn against Moshe? After all, he helped bring them out of Egypt. He led them through the wilderness, brought them to Har Sinai. What did they want from him? Well, Korach wanted his power. He wanted to be the leader. But what of the rest of the people? What was their problem? The Torah tells us his two henchmen, Korach's two henchmen, Dassan and Aviram, accused Moshe, and listen to these words. Is it not enough that you have brought us out of a land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the desert, that you should exercise authority over us? Do you hear what they accused Moshe? They twisted around the truth. They referred to Egypt as having been a land of milk and honey, when, as you know, it is Israel that is always referred to as land of milk and honey. And yet, the people fell for it. You have to ask yourself, how could they? They themselves experienced. They didn't have milk and honey in Egypt. They had matzah. They saw the truth with their own eyes. So how could they believe this? As long as we're asking that question, how can millions, tens of millions of people believe the 2020 election was stolen? Every court approved it. Bill Barr approved it. Mitch McConnell approved it. And yet, and it's not just Americans. I read a recent poll that 60% of Israelis believe that Yigal Amir murdered Yitzhak Rabin. And what of the other 40%? We all saw it with our very eyes. Antifa is responsible for January 6th. The vaccine doesn't work. Egypt was a land flowing with milk and honey. How come? We can find a hint for it in last week's Torah portion, which concluded with the mitzvah of the tzitzit, the fringes we wear on a man's garment. And it says that when you look at these tzitzit, you will see them, and you'll remember all the mitzvos. You will look at the tzitzis, and when you see them, you shall not turn away according to your heart and according to your eyes. My father once asked, it's in the wrong order. Isn't it the eyes that tell us what the heart believes? No. All too often, what we believe in our heart dictates what we can see with our eyes. And you know what? My father's been proven right by science. There's a book by Tali Sharot, a book called The Influential Mind, and listen to what she writes. When you present people with evidence that goes against their deeply held beliefs, the evidence doesn't sway them. Instead, they invent more reasons their prior position was actually correct. The smarter a person is, the greater his or her ability to rationalize and reinterpret discordant information, and the greater the polarizing boomerang effect is likely to be. Do you understand what this means? That sometimes people are so entrenched in their thinking, are so convinced that they are right, that if you show them evidence that goes against their position, they will come up with an even stronger means of rationalizing their position. And these are the words that really got me. The smarter a person is, the greater his or her ability to rationalize and reinterpret this important information. The smarter you are, the more likely you will reject not simply the opinions, but the facts of others. After all, the Jews left Egypt, which was a land of milk and honey. Don't you fall for it. Shabbat Shalom.